Welcome back to No Tracers, the podcast all about urban exploring. This week we've got a very special episode, so I hope you stick around. Let's get into it. Step into the world of decay, abandonment, and chaos. The story of an urban explorer starts here, at the beginning. Welcome to the podcast you've been looking for all along. This is No Tracers. Here, we take only photos. We leave only footprints. And remember, leave no trace. Today is the only Friday the 13th of 2022, and I have a very special announcement to make. I am very proud to introduce to you my second book, How to Explore Abandoned Buildings. This book has actually been in the works since December 2021 when I did a podcast with a couple guests, and I came up with this idea of an urban exploring guidebook. And I was like, dang, this should exist in the world, so I started doing some research. There's a couple sort of guidebooks out there, but nothing to this extent. So I'm super excited to chat with you about this today. So I'm just going to jump right in. Like I said, in December, I came up with this idea to make a guidebook for urban exploring, and I was like, what should I call this book? And naturally, I thought to myself, I should call this How to Explore Abandoned Buildings, because that's what people are searching online to find tips and tricks on how to do this. So I decided to curate images from my archive over the past several years of explorations that I've gone on. And I actually teamed up with a former guest on this show, Mr. Sketch, otherwise known as Cursed Sketchbook, to bring you this book. So Mr. Sketch actually specializes in drawing on top of urban exploration photography. So we took 50 images of mine, and he illustrated on top of all 50 images with each tip that I came up with. So I came up with a list of 50 tips for urban exploring. If you've never been into an abandoned building, or if you are a veteran explorer, you've been exploring for years, there's still stuff in this book that can help you explore better and safer and have more fun doing so. Some of these tips are things that I collected over my time of doing this podcast, so I'm super excited to share it with you guys, honestly. And, oh, by the way, I'm coming to you from tour. I'm on tour with the Red Jumpsuit Apparatus right now. I'm actually in their tour bus recording this episode. Shout out to Ronnie for hooking me up with a microphone and an interface so I could record this episode so that I could have it come out today on time for you guys. So I'm just going to read you guys a little bit about this. If you want to go see some photos from it, I actually posted a blog over on notracers.com. I also posted some images on justtheletterk.com on the blog over there. There's also, if you join the mailing list, I sent out an email with some of the images as well. And if you're on socials, you can see some of the images there. So some of these tips are like, bring glow sticks with you so that you can find your way back out of tunnels and things like that, places that are darker and harder to navigate, tunnels, things, that are a little bit more difficult to actually find your way back out of. So I hope you guys check this book out. I'm really excited for it. Like I said, there's 50 images, 50 tips for you guys, whether you're new or an experienced explorer. I hope that you guys share this piece of art that I've created with Mr. Sketch. I hope you share it online. I hope you share it with your friends. I hope you get it as gifts for your friends and family. It's an awesome coffee table book if you guys collect those kind of things. And it also supports this podcast, No Tracers. It supports my art. It supports everything that I do. I'm self-publishing this. It's actually going to be available in like Barnes & Nobles, on Amazon. But if you want a signed copy exclusively, you can get one of those at notracers.com/shop. That's the only place you can get a signed copy of my book. Unless you meet me in person in a bando and I have a copy of it with me, because I often create the marketing materials in abandoned buildings, which is, my favorite thing to do. I love bringing my book with me places, and this is my second book. I did release a book back in 2019 called No Tracers, an Urban Explorer's Diary. It's just a photo book of my photography from abandoned places with the stories along with it. But this one's a little bit different. Like I said, it's a guidebook. I think it'll help you guys with your explorations, and I am very, very excited to be releasing this on the only Friday the 13th of 2022. It just seemed fitting, man. Like, what other day would I release this? And so if you guys want to get a copy, notracers.com/shop. That's where you can get a signed copy. Otherwise, you're going to have to wait until July to get it at Barnes & Noble's. On Amazon, it takes like 8 weeks to process and get to stores and get all the royalties in order. But I ordered a batch of 50 books. So there's 50 available right now. So if you want a signed copy, just go to the notracers.com/shop, pick up a copy. They will be sent to my house by May 24th, and I will start shipping them out as soon as I get back to Nashville from tour, which is on May 24th. So literally the 25th, I will be mailing books out. So I've already sold a couple. Some people in Canada have bought them. Thank you. I know shipping is crazy to go internationally, but hey, it means a lot to me that you're supporting what I do. So thank you again for supporting my art, supporting this podcast. And if you want to come on this show, hit me up at no.tracers on Instagram. If you have an urban exploring story that you want to share, I'm going to do listener tales. Hit me up at contact@notracers.com. Man, I cannot thank you guys enough for the support over the years of this podcast. This thing has blown the fuck up, and I appreciate every single one of you that listens to this show and shares it with your friends. If you leave a rating and review on the show, you can leave ratings on Spotify now, by the way. So if you leave a rating on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts, send me a screenshot of it, and I will send you a signed photo print from this book. So that's the other thing. If you buy a copy of the book off of notracers.com/shop, I will actually send you a signed photo print of an image from the book. So if you guys want to get a copy and a signed image and a personalized book, notracers.com/shop. All right, guys. I will talk to you next week for another episode of No Tracers. Thank you for listening to this one. Go get the book, share it with everybody, and hey, keep supporting good art, man. I'm super stoked on this. Thank you, Mr. Sketch, for being a part of this, and thank you for being a part of my world. This is No Tracers. Stay strong, keep enduring, go out, go explore something, and remember, leave no trace.